Hello, everyone, and good evening, and welcome to Animal Advocates Radio, Voices Carry for Animals, number 505 shows this evening. This is just so wonderful just to have these shows just continue on because all the animals out there need our help from every angle, and we're their only hope, okay? And hope all of you enjoy the show and keep coming back because that is what it takes out there, okay? So I just want to go over a couple things before we do get started. My name is Debbie Dahmer, aka Mama Bear, and Mama Bear is on the air because she really does care. And I want to welcome all you. If you're listening in from Podbean Podcast Web, thank you all for tuning in this evening. And if you want to join us in the chat room on the Podbean podcast app, there's just a few steps you have to take, and that is to go to the App Store or Google Play and install free. And then what you're going to do is follow Voices Carry for Animals podcast, and you're in. This chat room is awesome over here. You can speak to the guests from here. And what you have to do if you're in the chat room to just the mic icon or the phone icon and just press it to alert me you want to come on air, okay? And just try to refrain from any noises in the background, TVs, radios, conversations. You're more than welcome to come on board. I'm picking up some sound here. Hold on one second. There's some sound coming in, some from the queue there, but I'll just before I bring you on, I'm going to just go over a couple of things here. I want to some sad news happened on October the 28th. A former guest of Voices Carry for Animals, number 398, passed away. Lost her battle with cancer. Her name is Renee Jones, and she was an awesome friend on the internet, and also a guest and an advocate for the pit bulls. Diane Lynn Echo was also on that show, but may she rest in peace, and we'll always remember her. And she was what 5 days from her birthday on November the 3rd, so she was going to be 69. So we're putting her family and friends and her thoughts and prayers because it's never easy losing a loved one. She was awesome and kept in contact. I kept keep in contact with a lot of my former guests who has made these shows a total success, and I can't thank all of them enough, and all the callers and the listeners and the ones out there that's helped me promote these shows every Thursday from my that's involved, my Facebook friends and also followers that's involved in the Facebook pages and groups. Fans of animal rights has been helped me promote this for a very long time, and also on X, where my personal page is, and also Voices Carry for Animals podcast, and also on LinkedIn. So big shout out to all of you out there that's helping me out. This list is huge. I mean, big animal pages out there that's helping me because I can't do it by myself. I do my best, but I can't do it by myself. Okay, and to just keep on, and we can't give up. We cannot give up hope because that's what the animals are relying on us because they cannot speak for themselves. They cannot fight for themselves. They we are their voices and we must be heard and take that action for better lives and futures, and we're going to keep doing that. But I will be taking calls later on in the show, and we're going to let's see, it's what 6 or 8:06, or I'm sorry, 7:06. But all of you in the chat room, welcome aboard, and thank you all for joining us here because it's so wonderful to keep all this continuous and ongoing support from all of you making it happen. Okay, and one thing, it's getting cold out there up north, and there's going to be some bad weather coming. So please keep your eye out on these, the pets that's left outside in the cold, the snow, and report it, and just get them out of harm's way out there, because that's sad and heartbreaking when that happens when they're out there freezing. So anyway, I'm going to bring on my guest. This is her first time, and I want to welcome her aboard and keep this all of the hard and the inspiring work that she does. And she's executive director of Bear Warriors United, Katrina Shadix, and she's also the director at Foundation for Florida Environmental Protection. So this is just wonderful to have her on board, and keep inviting her back because the more exposure on these issues and the attention it's getting, the better. We'll keep it, out there in the spotlight, and not let it fizzle out or go away or get swept under the rug because it's all so important. But our topics this evening is going to be talking about the new wildlife trapping rules proposed by the FWC update. And then we're going to be speaking with emergency injunction to stop the 2025 Florida bear hunt in December. And we're also going to be discussing a rally to stop Florida black bear hunt on 11/17 of this month at the state capitol, to help stop the Florida bear hunt. Not giving up. But I'm going to bring in Katrina. And Katrina, could you, on the bottom of the screen there's a phone icon or a mic icon. If you can press it and alert me, and I'm bringing it on the air, okay? Go ahead, go right ahead. It's such an honor to have her on. If you can hear me, the bottom right hand corner of your phone, a mic icon or a phone icon, and just press it to alert me you're coming on air. And everyone, welcome aboard. And like I said, on the app, we're coming live stream from Podbean Podcast app and player. Okay, so we're going to keep going. All these shows are recorded live and archived on Podbean podcast, and that's pod or voices carry for animals.podbean.com. And you can follow me on there, start up an account. In the upper right hand corner, log in, and then press create account. You'll need your full name, nickname, email address, create a password, and click that you're not a robot, and then create account. And what you'll do is follow Voices Carry for Animals. Okay, and then come over onto the app side, like Google Play or App Store, and install free. And then what you're going to do is uh, Voices Carry for Animals podcast follow. Okay, so, but Katrina, if you could go ahead and do that for me, go ahead and press the phone icon or the mic icon at the right lower of your screen, because I had to put everybody on mute there for a minute because I was picking up sounds in the back. So if you can hear me, go ahead and when you're ready to come on live air. And I'll be taking all comments and questions later on in the show. And just when you come on, and you can also in the chat room you can share this show up in the upper right hand corner where the arrow is to other social media sites. This is modern technology at its best, and keep pressing the like button, and that'll help me build up and go from there. But anyway, I'm going to keep pressing that like, everyone. I don't care if it's 100 times. The more the better, and I can get move up the ladder because I'm in the second level and I'll be hitting the third probably next year. But it'll help me out with getting this program up and on together. But Katrina, if you can hear me, go ahead. I see you're in the chat or in the queue, but go ahead and press that the lower right hand corner, the mic icon or the phone icon. And okay, you can't sign in. It says I tried too many times. Okay, hold on 1 second here. Just bear with me, and go ahead and okay, you're live now. Can you hear me, Katrina? Go ahead. Okay, it says you're live. Do you have your make sure you're not on mute or anything on your phone? Okay, can you hear me? It says you're live, but go ahead. Okay, you're live. Okay, you're in the live. It says enter live the studio. Okay, I hope I'm not having auto problems. Um, do me a favor, and it's showing you're live um, on air. Okay, it says call ended. Okay, now it says you're live. Can you hear me? Okay, Bear Warriors. Okay, it says Bear Warriors now. Is your phone muted? If you can hear me, I know you're not muted here. Um, but go ahead and so make sure your phone's not muted. Oh, you can hear me? Okay. Go ahead and press the mic icon or phone icon in the lower right hand corner. It's showing you're on air though. Hold on 1 second. We'll figure this out.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Okay. There you are. I found you.
Oh
All
my
right,
goodness.
victory. Welcome aboard, Katrina. We was going
Thank
to figure
you.
this out. I'm relentless, okay? I am
Yes.
relentless. Yes,
Good.
but
Good.
yes, welcome aboard. This is so awesome that you're
Yes,
here.
thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
having me. Yes.
Yes,
And thank
I
you.
love this.
And how
Yep.
did you hear about the bear hunt and bear warriors? Tell me how you heard about this.
Oh, I've been involved with him a long time. Adam Sugasi, the him.
Yes.
I
Yes.
had him on my show on TS Radio Network years ago. Okay,
Okay.
yes, and that's how I got acquainted with the bear hunts and
Okay.
stopping it and stuff. That's what our show was about on
Okay.
Marty Oakley TS Radio. So after that, with bear defenders, and the one protest.
Yes.
Yeah, with both of them, I would, keep tabs on what was going on because there hasn't been a bear hunt in over 10 years here in
Right.
Florida,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, whoa. So that's how I got involved with that, and I just had Adam on it. What was it? A couple months ago on the
Okay.
show as a guest, and it was a great show.
Oh,
I
good.
also had James Scott on about the bear
Oh,
hunt.
yeah. I just saw
Yes.
James today at the FWC meeting.
All right. And also Kate McFall down here.
Oh,
She did
Kate
a show,
McFall.
yes,
She was
months
there
ago.
today too at the we all went to the FWC meeting to talk about traps. So yeah,
Oh,
James and Kate were there. Mhm.
oh, that is wonderful. Small world, right?
Yes.
I mean,
It's
look at this. And all of you are always welcome back.
oh great.
Yeah, once you walk into the Voices Carry for Animals podcast, you're now family. And we're going to be working together, a team, keep coming back. That's the
Wonderful.
main thing. But
Yeah,
you want to go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about yourself. This is going to be
sure.
another great show, everyone, and we'll be giving the information later on the website and the Facebook page and how you can get involved because we'll be talking about what's going on with this rally on November 17th on a
Yeah,
Monday. Okay, but
yeah.
go right ahead.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for having me. And my name is Katrina Shadix. I'm the executive director of Bear Warriors United. And let's see, I incorporated Bear Warriors United as a nonprofit organization in 2016 as a result of trying to stop the 2015 hunt and then successfully stopping the bear hunts in 2016, 17, 18, 19. And then they really didn't have bear hunt issues until this past December 2024, when out of the blue, they just said, let's talk about having a bear hunt. And bring back a bear proposal at the next meeting. And the staff said, well, we need a little bit more time. Let's do it at the May meeting. And so at that May meeting, they decided to have a bear hunt and proposed all these horrible changes. Like they took the most horrible aspects of bear hunting and all the other states and added them all together and made it a Florida bear hunt. They added, like bows and arrows, baiting stations, chasing the bears with dogs, and then allowing hunting groups of up to 10 people and 6 dogs all going after one poor bear at the same time and all 10 people shooting the bear at the same time. This is
Mm.
just complete animal cruelty, and it is not hunting. This is trophy killing. This is just a horrific display of what the state wildlife agency has become. And they're not a conservation agency. They've turned into a captive agency when they stop making decisions for Floridians and for the wildlife and the wildlife habitat, and they make their decisions based on the special interest. And the special interests, unfortunately, are developers. And the more you can kill the bears and kill all of the species that make our lands and forests valuable, the easier it is to destroy those forests for rooftops and roads. So the hunters who find enjoyment in killing and torturing animals are being used by tools by developers who, I don't know if y'all know this, but 5 out of 7 FWC commissioners are developers. So isn't that a conflict of interest?
Yeah,
So,
that's unfair. It's injustice. It's so wrong.
yes,
I mean,
it
how are the
is.
Bears going to win with having developers and hunters voting? That's
Exactly.
that's terrible.
It's
You
terrible.
know?
It is horrible.
Yep.
And these bears, we don't have that many of them. They say that there's 4,000, but guess what? They just had a recent bear population study come in because, when they said, let's go forward with the bear hunt last December, everybody said, hey, y'all are in the middle of doing several bear population studies throughout the state. Common sense says you should wait till you get all of your work done on bear populations and then talk about having a hunt. You don't want to talk about having a hunt when you don't know what the current numbers of that animal that you want to kill are. So they did not wait for their bear population studies to be done, and they voted for those horrible changes in May. They solidified them in August. And guess what happened last month? One of their bear population studies was completed, and the Osceola bear population in North Florida came back 66% lower than it had been in 2015. Two-thirds of those bears are gone. Their population has dropped dramatically, and when you figure in how much the population has dropped and apply it to the number of bears actually living there, you get a population of under 200 bears, and the FWC laws, the FWC rules prohibit hunting any bear population under 200 bears, and they haven't called off the hunt for that population. So what does this tell us? They are not following their own rules, they're not following their own laws, they're not following their science, and they are just steamrolling this for trophy killers and for developers, and we are fighting to stop this. And one of the ways we are doing that, there's actually two ways that we can stop a 2025 hunt. The first is to convince Ron DeSantis to issue an executive order and tell the FWC no bear hunt. That's not going to happen because we've heard he's the one that actually ordered it. So the second thing that can stop the 2025 bear hunt is an emergency injunction being granted by a judge. Well, we filed that 3 weeks ago. We go to court for that the week of November 17th, and we hope we're going to have everyone's support on that, because if the judge grants us that emergency injunction, there will be no 2025 hunt. So I want everyone saying your prayers and sending out those good vibes and positive, feelings that we get that grant, because the bears will be saved. And then we go to trial next year in August of 2026 for our main lawsuit that we filed against the FWC to stop all future bear hunts. So we have great expert witnesses, we have the law on our side, we have science on our side, we have public support on our side, we have morals and ethics, and I think we have a really good shot of stopping this. And we go to court for this emergency injunction the week of November 17th. Well, we just so happened to have scheduled a bear rally in Tally on November 17th before we even knew about the court date. So, is that a sign from the universe? I don't know, but I hope we can turn November 17th, our bear rally, which would be a press conference and a rally. We're hoping we can turn that into a celebration. So I hope anyone listening can make it up to Tallahassee. We're going to start on the FWC Capitol steps at 11 a.m., having a press conference and a rally and music. And then we're going to march 1 block away to the FWC headquarters, and we're going to do a rally there. So it's a peaceful protest, and we hope everyone, comes out and supports us, supports the Bears. And I'm happy to take any questions about our lawsuit to stop the hunt. I also have a manatee lawsuit, but that can be another show. But any questions y'all have about the bear hunt, about the lawsuit, about the rally, I would love to answer your questions and, bring you in on this and just let you know how you can help the Bears.
Oh yeah, and after the show gets, when I download it, Katrina, and then edit it,
Uh-huh.
and then I
Okay.
publish it, I'm going to put the links in there,
Oh,
because
great.
I can't do any links before. It's like a temporary promo, and then
Okay.
once I get that together, I'll put all the links in there. The event page on Facebook, and
Okay.
put it all together. Even probably put the petition in there, the address and everything on the November 17th, and that's on a Monday, everyone. So
Yes.
it's between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., right?
That's
On
right.
that day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a peaceful, rally,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Katrina was saying, like always, and
Yes.
everything. And the black bears really need all of our voices, everyone. So if you know someone that's in Tallahassee or nearby, because they even got buses that's traveling there too,
Yes. Uh-huh.
So if you,
It's a fun,
and I think that's
it
awesome.
is. It's
Yes.
amazing. They have 3 buses. The Sierra Club is doing the same thing that they did for the FWC August meeting to get people there. And the buses, going to have a lot of positive energy, positive people. There might be a couple filmmakers on one of those buses. I just had a interview today. They're doing a documentary on the bear hunt. And we also had CNN doing a story on the bear hunt and on my nonprofit org's lawsuit. So we're getting very good media coverage. You know why? Because we're on the right side of history on this. And most people love animals, and most people love our Florida black bears. So we're hoping, between the emergency injunction, the rally, and all of the good press, that we're going to stop this massacre. And because the bears don't deserve it, they're just wonderful, they're wonderful souls, and they're gentle, and they're good moms. And what these people want to do, and not only what they want to do, but the joy that they find in doing such heinous acts to an innocent soul is extremely concerning. These are, personality disorders that are indicative of sociopathy, of sociopaths. And that is just not a healthy thing. It's extremely concerning. It makes me concerned for these trophy killers, children, and what they're teaching their children. They're not teaching them compassion, for these innocent beings that we should be peacefully coexisting with. And I don't know if y'all heard, but have you heard, when you have a lawsuit, parties can intervene into the lawsuit. They can become an actual party to the lawsuit. And I don't know if you've heard of Safari Club International. It's like the biggest trophy killing club in the world. They filed to intervene on our lawsuit. So now our lawsuit is actually Bear Warriors United versus the FWC and Safari Club International. So, I just have this little nonprofit, but we are taking on two titans, huge, huge, well-funded, powerful, corrupt agencies and organizations. We are taking these two titans on to save our Florida black bears, because if a hunt is allowed, not only this year, but every year going forward, this is going to push the Florida black bears to extinction. We can't have that. That'll be,
No, no.
we don't want our children and to see this happening to the Florida black bears.
That's
So,
right. Whoa. I mean, we have to not give up, be relentless, because,
yes.
quitters never win and winners never
Yes,
quit, right?
that's
We
right.
got to
That's
stay
right.
strong, positive, optimistic, and proactive. And like all
Yes,
you are doing, and strong leaders and strong supporters equal strong victories. And
exactly.
this thing has to be stopped. I mean, having up to 6 dogs, this attack
Yes,
and kill bear. I mean, that is animal cruelty front lines. I mean, it's
it,
terrible.
it is
Whoa.
horrible. And here's the most hypocritical thing happening with this is
Mm,
that um, in 2020, I actually reported some people that they were training dogs, and they were having the dogs chase bears up trees. They would shoot the bear while in the tree. The bear would fall to the ground injured, and the dogs would maul the bear to death. And these people were videotaping this, and they were laughing, and they were drinking beer. And I called in to report that, and that led to a 1 year undercover investigation that the FWC law enforcement did. They ended up arresting 9 people. The state attorney, Pam Bondi, at the time made the announcement one day, and right before she went on air, I got a call from the FWC, and they had kept me posted on this undercover investigation every month. They would give me an update. And I got a call one day, I think it was in December, and they said, "Hey, we got him. We just arrested 8 out of 9 of them, and the other one's in another state. We're getting him right now." He said, "Pam Bondi's going to make an announcement. As soon as she makes that announcement, you can put it out on Facebook that we got him." And I'm like, that was amazing. So the FWC spent tens of thousands, maybe $100,000 going undercover for a year to bust these creeps who were killing lots of black bears, and they were doing it in a most
mm,
despicable way. Well, turn around 5 years later, they're allowing what they prosecuted and what they put people in jail for. They are now allowing people to let their dogs chase bears up a tree and having hunting parties, shooting at the same bear. How crazy is that? What does that tell you? They're allowing
mm,
something that they was illegal, and that they prosecuted and spent money and an undercover investigation for a year. They're now allowing that. And that is just, it's mind-boggling. Like, I just don't have any words to describe how they can do such a 180. We used to be able to, we had a pretty good communication with the FWC. They were not animal advocates, but they weren't animal torturers. They weren't animal abusers. And, this corruption, I don't know if it's all the development, if the trophy killing clubs have, monetary interest, who knows what it is, but this is not the agency that prosecuted people who did the same thing they're allowing. And we need FWC reform. We are working on legislation to require that FWC commissioners have some sort of formal education in wildlife conservation, biology, science. But right now, a governor appoints FWC commissioners to the FWC. So we have the biggest donors to a governor will get appointed to the state wildlife agency, the state wildlife agency that controls protections from development. So you can see it's just a very deep and insidious, just corruption that has ruined our state wildlife agency, and they're trying to ruin the survival of Florida black bears, and we're just not going to let it happen.
No, because they deserve their animal rights granted, not violated. They have
No.
every right to share this earth with us. And we're all on this earth temporarily. We got to make the best of it, but treat them
Yes.
with dignity and respect. All
Hmm.
of them. And doing these podcasts, we got issues from every angle. And a
Right.
lot of it comes down to greed. Greed, greed. There is
Yes.
no need for greed, everyone. The profit before animals or profit before people. That's a no-no. You
Right.
and we
Uh-huh.
we can't take the money with us when we die, and that's all guaranteed for us all.
Yeah.
All in good time. So we have
Mhm.
to. I look at it. I was like, there is a uh, uh, infested greed disease that is sweeping the world. Okay, and it's moving faster than COVID out there, and it's sickening. It's a sickness, and they're thinking about me, me, me. It's all about me, narcissists, and they're not even thinking about the animals. It's sickening, and how they can feel pain just like we, and they have feelings. Look at the mama bear and her cubs, and they love to be with their families out there socializing, living freely, not to live in fear and anxiety and wonder if they're going to get shot and killed.
Right.
And this thing happened in December.
Yeah.
Here we come. Here comes Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I'm going to hate to know that these black bears, trying to enjoy Christmas and all that, and knowing they're going to be getting killed out there. And it's disgusting. It's very hurtful and
Well,
frustrating,
yeah, what kind
and
of
they need
Merry
to leave them
Christmas
alone.
is that? How can anyone have a Merry Christmas when we know what's going to be going on out in our forest? And for 3 weeks, they're just not doing it for a couple of days. 3 weeks, these
Mm,
guys can go out into the woods and terrorize. And come on, they're going to be killing more than one bear per permit. They're going to be killing more than just bears. They're going to
yes.
be unsupervised because they took away the check stations, so they don't have to take it to a station for FWC staff to gather the data and weigh the animal. They can actually kill a bear, take that bear to their house, and not contact FWC for 24 hours to tell them that they killed a bear. Do you know all the things they can do?
Whoa.
Yes. I mean, this
Oh.
is insane. It's insane.
Mm, that is disgusting. I mean, and
Yeah,
they don't. And then if someone will, like you said, bro, kill more than one of them, who's out
absolutely.
there? Who's out there going to be running around the woods tracking these hunters
No one.
down? See,
No,
there's
no
no
one.
oversight, no
That's right.
control. And that's the sickening part. It's like total trust out there. And
Right.
that's a no no. Not we can only wish we could trust them. You know what I mean? But we
Yeah.
can't do that. I mean, not, under no circumstances. And it's
Yeah,
so sad what they're doing. I wish they would turn over a new leaf and help save them, their
I
lives,
know.
and
Mhm.
because they have every right to be here like we do. They don't bother nobody. I
Oh,
mean,
no.
it's like, and they're so adorable. I'm the mama bear, so on the voices
Right.
carry for animal, that's my nickname. So I'm standing up
Oh,
for them. You know,
yes, yes,
yeah, and it's
exactly.
had a long time. So I got some photos that I've got made up, and it says "Don't mess with Mama Bear,"
Oh, I love
and
it.
that's yes. I'll send it to you on Facebook, but I you
Okay.
know we have to stand up for them, everyone. We cannot just sweep it under the carpet, look the other
Mm-mm.
way. We have
Yeah.
to be these black bear voices because they need us now. And with this
Hmm.
rally coming up, please spread the word. Share it on Facebook or any social media out there to attract more, rallies, Black Bear supporters there, and let their
Yes.
voice be heard. I even the other day was this Thursday. On Tuesday, I made up a reel for bear defense. Bear warriors united,
Oh, okay.
and
Hmm.
I had to send that to you. And I put different photos in there and the rally. And it didn't take me that long to, get it together. And I put the music on it, thunderstruck, get some blood pumping.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
do it.
thunderstruck.
But I'll pass,
That's
and I'm going to keep passing it because I really, I enjoy doing that kind of stuff from my, Voices Carry for Animals podcast based on Facebook.
yeah.
So but I'll show it to you. But I'm going to keep passing it up till then, because not
Okay.
everybody's on social media same time and days. We can't
Right.
get online and say, okay, everybody from Facebook is online right now. No, that's not happening. So keep
Exactly. Hmm.
resharing it. You know, I
Yes.
just last night I just got zapped to get on Facebook. I can't comment on
Oh
my post.
no.
Yes, and I put the links to your Facebook page. When I'm posting, and I
Uh-huh.
can't do that. So I had to report a problem. I don't know what happened, but I can't comment. I can share.
Mhm.
Unbelievable.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
and but once I get to that, I'm going to keep going. Keep
Okay.
checking your page out and everybody, and check out Bear Warriors United on Facebook. Go by and follow them and check the page out how you can help. They got an
Yeah.
event
Hmm.
page going on too for this
Yes.
rally the 17th. So I'm
They
going
do.
to put that link in there.
Okay. Yeah, we have the rally coming up, and like I said, we have Facebook. I do my Facebook myself. I can handle that one. I usually get help with my monthly newsletter, but if everyone wants to email me at bearwarriorsunited@gmail.com, I can send some information. I can also send out bear care packages if anyone has any issues with bears going into their trash, or if they know family members or friends that have bears going into the trash. What we want to do and what we help people do is secure their trash cans, because we want to keep the bears in the woods and out of the neighborhoods, because some people don't love the bears like us, and they don't want to see them. If they see them, they want to kill them. So we want to make sure the bears stay safe in the woods and they stay out of sight. And the best way to do that is secure trash. And we hand make these bear straps. And I send out bear straps with 6 or 7 pieces of educational literature about peacefully coexisting with bears, coyotes, Florida wildlife. And we have a YouTube video that shows you how to put those straps on, and we have handmade and given out free over 36,000 bear straps and over 100,000 pieces of educational literature. And we have, in Seminole County, we went down from number 1 on the Bears in the Trash complaint call list to FWC down to number 8 in the state. That is huge because
Wow.
we are bear central in Seminole County, because we have so many people and less than 1,000 bears, but a lot of people crammed into the third smallest county in the state. So for us to go down to number 8 while having some of the most dense, human and bear population, that's a huge accomplishment. And it was done, we didn't charge anyone a dime. We didn't want money to be an excuse not to do the right thing for bears. Because we have a lot of people that said, I'm not spending money on a bear proof trash can. I don't care if the bears get killed for going in my trash. I don't like the bears. And then the FWC would go out and write a warning and say, if you don't secure your trash, you're going to get a $100 ticket. And then the phone calls, I was flooded with phone calls like, oh, okay, we'll take those free straps now. We don't want to get a $100 ticket. So it was a great way to get people to do the right thing and secure their trash and keep bears out of the neighborhoods. And, that's just an easy way. And it proves that bears can be managed without a without a deadly hunt. We don't need to kill them to manage them or to peacefully coexist with them. We have to be responsible. We have to secure our trash, take away attractants, and we have to make sure their lands are protected and that, people are not going to get away with, pleasure killing and doing that thrill kill and, just I just that's what gets me, the callousness of the people who find pleasure in taking a life. Um, like I said, that's just mind-boggling to me. It's a very dangerous personality to have in society. With everything going on, we have these guys who take pleasure in causing pain and torturing an innocent animal. No, because we all know those serial killers start with animals and then they
Yes.
progress to people. So we always I always judge people by how they treat animals, like Gandhi. It's one of the best indicators. Or, and I think all of us do this, if you have a dog, if your dog doesn't like someone, most likely you're not going to like that person, and dogs have that sixth sense. So animals are just wonderful, just the most wonderful part of existence on this planet. And I'm glad that there's people like you and your audience that are doing everything in their power to protect them and make sure, they're around for future generations to enjoy, because those black bears, I could watch videos of them all day long. They're just entertaining and curious and cute. But do you have any questions about the Bears or FWC, anything like that?
Yeah, and I want to welcome all the new listeners coming in. Rock Chosen One, thanks for joining us. You know,
Mhm.
um, follow the host or follow me on the on the app or the web. All of these coming in, and appreciate you showing up because we need all of your voices out there. And all your actions. That's where it takes. And if you're in Florida or if you're near Tallahassee, please check this. And if you have the time, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Monday, November the 17th. Be the Black Bears voices, please, and spread the word. Share it on all social media. I'm gonna be sharing up till then. If you want to come and follow me on Facebook under Debbie Dahmer, Dahmer, and I'm a good Dahmer, okay?
Right.
So don't worry that I'm. I get that name changed around. I think
Yeah.
that's why Facebook suspends me because they always want to know what I'm up to.
Oh, that's funny.
you know, and I
I
mean that's
just watched that show about Jeffrey Dahmer the other day. And
did
that
you?
was, he and his dad started out collecting roadkill, animals that had been killed on the road. They would take them back to the house and like do autopsies on them and stuff and remove parts.
Mm,
And what did he progress to? He started doing it to people. What he did to the
exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
weird.
And
Very weird.
he was that is weird. I mean he was sick.
Oh
So
yeah.
oh
Mhm.
yeah, and he started out, and I think Berkowitz did too as an animal
Mhm.
abuser. Remember him?
Yes. Yep.
And Bundy, they
Mhm.
all started out with animal abuse. And if they would have got him back then, they would have probably never progressed to going further and killing humans. You know,
Exactly.
stop him
Mhm.
right there. And
Yep.
that's a sad part. I mean, it's like, whoa. So we can never let our guard down. When you see an
Right.
animal get abused or neglected, report it
Oh
because,
yeah.
get them out of the harm's way. That's our
Mhm.
job here. Don't look the other way because if you look the other way, you're being part of the problem again. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and look focus on it and get that animal justice. I mean, that's what they deserve, to live in peace and freedom. We have the our pets at home, the ones that are pet owners, our
Yeah.
furry loved ones, and we want to make sure they are in TLC homes. And do you know how many out there that are not? And
Oh,
that it's terrible. That it's
yeah.
astronomical what's going on out there. The amount of problems and stuff, and there's
Yeah.
zero excuses for it. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
so yep,
There's reasons. There's no excuses, but there's reasons why these people are doing it. And you brought up a good point. That if you see something, say something. And if you hear shooting at night and you live in the woods, these those shots are usually someone poaching. And a lot of times they're killing deer, they're killing bear. So anytime you hear gunfire at night, call the police and report it. Even if they say, oh, do you just say it happened 3 times at this time, so they can have a record of that and a paper trail starts. I just reported poachers 2 weeks ago. They had a pattern like every night around 10:30, you'd hear these shots at night. And hunting at night's illegal, by the way. So I had called the FWC law enforcement, and they actually sent out a law enforcement guy 2 days later, and he did a stakeout. And but you've got anytime you hear shots at night, that's someone probably trying to kill a bear or a deer, and report them and get that paper trail going.
oh yeah. Because if you don't, it's just going to keep up and get worse.
Exactly.
Because I've heard, Adam was telling me about how they have these, like up to 6 dogs killing, attacking deers in Florida. He said the website dogwars.com. And I'm like, that is so cruel and heartless, isn't it? I mean, just go out and they need to get a life. They need to come together and go get a life, because killing an innocent animal, they love to be in out there in the free with their families, just like we do. They love to socialize. They
Yeah.
shouldn't have to live in fear and
No.
anxiety.
Oh no. And that's
None of them.
no.
Isn't that sad?
It
I mean,
is.
it's like, is this really happening?
And
Why
there's
is this allowed?
Oh, yeah. And there's a
Yep.
special level of cruelty when you use one animal to hurt another animal. People get arrested for the cockfighting and for dog fighting, but they're allowed to let dogs maul bears to death. Where's the sense
Right.
in that? It's like they break their own laws. They say we're against animal cruelty, but then they condone it and encourage it and allow it and call it a sport. And it is not okay for a dog to chase and, kill any animal. It's disgusting that these
Yes, it
guys
is.
do that. And you got to feel sorry for the dogs. They treat the dogs horribly. They stay outside in these cold metal crates. Most of them are skinny. You can see their ribs. If they don't perform, these guys will shoot their own dog right in the head or leave them in the woods. And, these poor hunting dogs they're treated horribly. And then if they get in fights with a hog, they can get, slit down the side from the hog's tusk. And, they'll leave, they won't get vet care for these animals. And I feel so bad for the hunting dogs. And it's just terrible how they're trained to kill other animals, and that the people enjoy watching this. Ugh. I don't
Oh,
know.
I know. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
How? I mean, I
It's,
seen it was a video. It was on from Freedom Fighters, and it showed the dogs attacking the bear. That was oh, it was sickening. And then another one was showing a bear dead, and the dogs come up and it was picking at it, and I'm like, oh, I couldn't even finish watching it. It just turned my stomach, and I looked at it, I was like, how could they enjoy that?
I know,
How
right?
could they enjoy that? It doesn't, that is totally heartless and cruel. No mercy, no compassion, nothing, zero. And to do that, I mean, it's like, what kind of world do we live in?
Right.
To
Yeah.
to keep allowing this to happen, and these
Mm-hmm.
poor animals, and knowing this bear hunt is coming up in December, what, 3 weeks, we need to get a stop to everyone, because hey, Hey, Merry Christmas, black bears. You're going to get killed by six
Yeah,
dogs. You know, that's not
exactly.
right. It's
No.
terrible. You know, let's keep them alive and keep them living. You know, let the black bears live in freedom, not fear,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's
Love
what
it.
they deserve. You know.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yep.
They're wonderful. And this people who use dogs, when they do, they can come onto your property, they can attack your dog, your cats. You can be like right in the middle of gunfire. It is not, a quality of life if you're anywhere in the woods where they're hunting and using dogs, shooting bullets. It's not okay, especially you have children. Like, do you want your children outside
Right.
playing when people are hunting and shooting bears for 3 weeks at Christmas? That's just like I said, this is not the wildlife agency that it used to be. Used to be pretty darn good. We had good lines of communication. We had good people that were appointed. The staff and the biologists, law enforcement, they have always been great. But these commissioners that Governor DeSantis appointed are just, they have done a number on our environment and on our wildlife. And we've got to get that reform FWC bill passed so there can be, common sense requirements for these commissioners to get appointed instead of just, oh, I donated a lot of money to the governor, so I get to be a commissioner. No, we want them to have,
No.
biology degrees and
Yes.
have some
Yes.
kind of experience other
Yes.
than destroying forests.
Yeah, especially developers, they're not going to want to stop the bear hunt, you know,
Oh
and neither
no.
the hunters. The bears don't stand a chance with them being there, you know,
No,
don't
no,
stand a
no,
chance, and it's
no.
injustice and unfair to the
It
fullest.
is.
You know, I seen that and I said, this is so wrong.
It is,
I
yeah.
mean,
And a lot
whoa,
of the hunters will say, "Oh, you're just emotional about it, and that's no reason not to have a hunt." And I say it's okay to have emotions for for animals, for children. It's okay to be upset when you see the forest that was across the street from your house turn in a burning pile of mulch. It's okay to be upset and cry when you see your favorite lake polluted and dead fish floating at the top. It's okay to be upset and it's okay to be emotional about nature and about the destruction of nature. So, they try to gaslight us by saying, "Oh, they're just emotional." No. And they shouldn't try to discount people's feelings when it comes to Florida's nature because the bears are kind of our plight. We're both facing the same thing. Their homes are being destroyed, their forests are being destroyed, their waters are being polluted. Well, same with us. Our quality of life decreases when trees get destroyed and it gets replaced with concrete. So when we save the bears, we actually save ourselves and we save the state. And they deserve this, and we deserve to have them and enjoy them. And they don't have to do anything but exist. But here's another thing that hunters don't. They don't really admit this, but they always say, well, they need management, there's too many of them, or they're going to hurt people. Hunting bears does not decrease negative human bear interaction. The only thing that decreases interaction in bear sightings is securing your trash and removing attractants. And also, the bears keep their own population in check. One, they have delayed implantation when the mother is pregnant. If she doesn't eat enough food this time of year, right now they're going through hyperphagia, which is excessive eating, and their hunger increases from 5,000 calories a day to 20,000 calories a day. If they don't eat 20,000 calories a day, that fertilized embryo, that fertilized egg in the pregnant mom, just kind of reabsorbs into the uterine wall. It's almost like a spontaneous miscarriage. So that is the bear's own way of regulating its own population because if she doesn't eat enough, she doesn't have babies that year. Another way they do it is male bears will kill cubs when they want to mate with the mothers. So just those two things alone, bears can regulate their own numbers. But when you add in massive deforestation, bears in Florida, over 300 of them every single year get hit and killed by cars. And then we have a huge poaching crisis where 95% of poaching goes undetected and unreported. When you put all of those factors in, our bears are barreling toward extinction, and this hunt is going to be the final nail in their coffin if we don't stop it. And we plan on stopping it.
I'm standing right with you. You know,
Good.
wishing you
Thank
the
you.
best of the best and prayers all the way. You know, keep the prayers coming. We got to
Yes.
help protect God's beautiful innocent creatures. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we know He's on our side.
Oh,
Absolutely,
yeah.
no questions asked. You know, so we got to protect them and let them live freely. Everyone in freedom. We love our
Yeah,
freedom. You know, and
exactly.
I mean, what's the difference? And they love to be with their families, the mama bear and the cubs. And I mean, I got the mama bear slippers, Katrina, the
Oh,
mom, the don't mess with mama bear t-shirts. I mean, I'm all
that's
out, you know. The
that's
mama bear, yeah, because I have all these nicknames, and it was hard to choose because I got the Dominator. That was when I was
oh,
on
that's
TS
funny.
radio, and then
Oh,
yeah. And then I had my another nickname was Mustang Debbie, you know, like for the Mustang horses, and because
oh,
I own a
nice,
Mustang
nice.
car, and
Okay.
yes, and Pitbull Debbie because I stand up for pit bulls too. So
Oh,
I got
very
all these
nice.
nicknames. So it was already, you know, it was hard to decide which one when I went on Blog Talk Radio back in January 31st because they closed down, and I was
Oh,
on there 10.5 years on TS Radio
oh,
Network.
wow.
um, it was Marty Oakley, so I was her host on there. And then once they shut down, I had to get in high gear and get another podcast together. And one door closed and a better one opened. Isn't that
There
something?
you go.
And yeah, and sadly, Marty passed away April 1st of 2023. And
Oh,
may she rest in peace. She was a super friend. And she was the grassroots, you know, if I wasn't the host on her show where she first started up, it wouldn't even exist
oh,
today.
wow.
You know, so she was a major inspiration in my life to, and I'm keep going. I wish she could hear it now. You know,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
yeah, yep.
well, well, I think she's proud of you.
Oh
She's
yeah,
looking down and
definitely.
she's proud.
Yep.
And I've heard you're going to need those mama bear slippers next week. It's going to get cold.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because was it going to go down to 50s or 40s or something?
Yeah, yeah, that's cold for
Yeah,
Florida.
I know. And I always tell Mama Cat, I call her the snow woman, like the
Oh,
snowman. She's out in Colorado and she's listening. I hope she gets on air. But she takes care of over 90 cats in colonies and keeps them warm in the
wow.
summer. You know,
Oh,
so and I think
bless
it's
her.
wonderful. You know, she's been
Yes.
very supportive many years. You know,
Okay.
so yeah,
Very
and it's
nice.
something. I mean, it's
Yes, that's
like
wonderful.
it
I wish more people
teamwork
took
all the
care.
way.
Yeah.
Yes, I do too.
I
Yep.
just I had 3 kitties for a while, and just in the past 2 months I've saved some from the streets from dumpers, and I'm up to 10 kitties right now, and I'm not going to try to get them homes. I love them all. I'm keeping all of the kittens. So,
Oh, that's
I'm
so
now have
sweet of you.
yeah,
Yes.
10 kitties and 1 dog and 20 chickens, a horse and 2 goats.
Check you
Any
out.
yeah, anybody that needs a home, I'm taking in all the animals. I just need a few bears. That'll
Oh, would
that'll
you love to have
complete
a
my
bear for a
family.
pet?
All right? I would
I'll
love
be
them.
serious. I know. Just hang out. Just on the
Yes.
property and run free. Come up and
Oh,
hang
yeah.
out with you. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would,
I
wouldn't
mean, because I
it?
know there's these sand cranes that come up.
Oh, yeah.
There's like maybe 5 bird feeders on this property. So there's like two in the front and three, one on the side, two in the backyard. And these cranes come back and they all, I love seeing them. They had a baby and, it's just so wonderful and so uplifting just to watch this wildlife and stuff, the squirrels, the raccoons, the birds, you name it. And it's just so relaxing just watching them. And I would love to have a black bear come out and hey, Here you go. How's it going? And
Exactly.
name them.
And they're very quiet. They sneak up on a lot of people. And they're just walking along, minding their own business. And it's
Yep.
very easy to startle a bear. I call them the scaredy cats of nature. And I always say, make sure if you see a bear in your garage, don't try to yell at the bear to get him to go. Just move out of the way, go inside your car, go inside the house, and the bear's going to leave. Because when you startle a bear, they'll they want to get away. They scare very easy. Y'all have probably seen videos that a common house cat can chase a bear away. They're just big chickens. And but what bears have are non-retractable claws. You know, a cat's claws can go in, well, a bear's doesn't. So if you scare a bear and they're trying to get away and they run past you, they're going to scratch you because their claws don't go in. They're not attacking you. But a lot of these stories where people have startled bears and they got scratched, they falsely claimed those were attacks, and they weren't attacks. Those were just because the bear's claws don't go in. So when they're running past you and they happen to go by, you get a little scratch. And the bears, they're so demonized and villainized, and they really are these gentle creatures. When I spend time with them in the woods or at a couple bear rehabs, I come back to my dogs. I'm like, I love y'all, but bears are so much better than dogs. and I, and I'm like, don't get mad. I'm like, y'all, bears are superior. It's okay. I still love you, but they're just these. Okay, so I've been out in the woods with them. I've actually hand fed bears out in the woods, and they are the most gentle treat takers. Some dogs they'll snatch, and you got to kind of draw your fingers back. Bears are gentle, and when they are laying in the forest or eating treats from your hands or something, they put their paws in the shape of a heart. Their front legs curl in front of them, and it makes the shape of a heart, and if that isn't the sweetest thing that you've ever seen, you would just die. They're just precious and gentle, and they're so these hunters lie about them. They're not aggressive. If anything, they're defensive, like they have to defend themselves against dogs coming after them or being startled. They're just not aggressive animals. And we want to make sure that people know the real truth about bears, and they don't deserve to be killed. So I'm so glad you've known about this issue for so long and have an audience that can help. And I would love to have all of y'all in court next year when we go to trial to stop all future bear hunts. It's going to be August of 2026. And if
Okay.
we can fill the courtroom with bear lovers, that's going to send a real strong message to the judge that bear hunting is wrong.
That's right. And then once
Mhm.
that time gets around, I'll help you to share it all over social media.
Okay.
Get some attention. It takes teamwork all the way. Keep
Yeah.
pressing that share button. Share, share, share for the mama bear.
There you
Never,
go.
never fear. The mama bear's here.
I like that.
But that's what we got to
Excellent.
do, everyone, because they can't do it alone. They got it
No.
teamwork. Strong teamwork. Teamwork
Yes,
rocks and
exactly.
teamwork wins. But I'm going to take some calls if anybody wants to have any comments or questions for Katrina, the executive director of Bear Warriors United. And you're more than welcome to get on air and give her your support and keep sharing, any kind of like their Facebook page on, Bear Warriors United. Go by and follow. We see how you can help out. There going to be updates on all the, the November 17th rally to help stop the Florida bear hunt. Information on the, emergency injunction. And next year, August, let's hope we get rid of 'em permanently. The bear hunt.
Yes.
We need some peace and freedom for our black bears.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
don't do nothing wrong. Let them live here. Let them. They been it's been over what 10 years from the hunts,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
and
2015.
so we don't need one for what.
No.
And all
Well,
the
we
cruelty
don't,
that's
and
going to take place. Mm.
Exactly. With all of the science, with that new population study coming in and showing that the bear population in North Florida has decreased by 66%, that's huge. That is a big red flag that these bears need to be put back on the state protection list. They don't need to be hunted. They need protections because FWC's own science shows when you have a decrease in a population of 66%, that's scary. And this is kind of the canary in the coal mine. We've got to get protections from them, and or they're going to disappear. They're going to go back down. Like in the 70s, they got down to 1 or 200. They were almost extinct from hunting.
Mm.
Yeah. They had to stop hunting the Florida black bear, and then because historically, back before they were slaughtered and hunted to near extinction, there was 11,000 bears in Florida, and then they killed them down to about 200, 300, and
Oh.
then they gave them protections, and now we're only up to 3,000, 3,500, if that.
Mm.
And that's sad. 3,500 in a state of 23 million people. We only have
Whoa.
3,500 bears. We have less bears than we have manatees, and manatees are on the endangered species list. But bears aren't, and it's just I don't know. You think you could explain something like this, but when you put all of the facts out there, it just points to corruption, by a state agency because there's no explaining. There's no justification. There's no explaining how to have a bear hunt when 66% of their population has decreased. So that's another thing we're going to try when we stop the hunt. I'm thinking positively and putting that out there in the universe. When we stop the hunts, we're also going to reapply again to get them on the state's threatened species list and get some permanent protections from them so, they can recover. And so we don't have to fight this every year. It's a lot of time and energy and money to fight for Florida black
Yes.
bears or for any animal because, animals can't hire an attorney. They can't do protest.
No. No.
They can't defend themselves. So it takes a lot, but you know what? It's worth all the blood, sweat, and tears and every dime that we all put into this to save them. So, the best thing to come out of this is we're going to get them put back on the threatened species list. And with this new population study coming back showing that that population has decreased by 66%, we have a much better chance to get them protections that they deserve.
Yes, they do. And to protect them and know, that we know that they're safe and living their lives like they should be, in freedom. I mean, that's what we're all in Florida, and they're not bothering us. They, you I've never heard of probably just one attack and that's it. Out of all of them, and we
Mhm.
hate to hear that happen, but
Right,
it just but we still have to protect them because we can't blame it on all of them. It's just like the
right,
pit bulls, where they had to
exactly.
always get the bad rap, and one bites, and we hate to hear it, but they all are accountable for it, and that's wrong. That's discrimination. It's stereotyping. I
Hmm.
know so many great pit bulls, throughout my life, and so we look at these bears and say, hey. They're no threat to us. Let them live them happy and comfortable and peace and
There
freedom.
you go.
You know,
Yeah.
the and the mama bear and her cubs and everything. So
Well,
we
we're
have to
working
protect them,
on it.
everyone.
Yeah, we're
Yep.
working. And you mentioned Adam the other day. He's going to be at our press conference on November 17th.
Yes.
Kate,
Good. Good.
I think Kate McFall is going to be there, but there'll be several members, lots of members of Sierra Club because they're the ones. So I've been partnering with Sierra Club for the past few months for the Bears because there's two things that can stop this year's hunt. It's Governor DeSantis and it's our emergency injunction. So Sierra Club is focusing on pressuring DeSantis to say no to the hunt, and then of course my nonprofit org is focusing on the lawsuit part. So we're having this press conference, and by the way, CNN is going to be there. They're doing a story on the black bear hunt, which will be, great coverage for the bears. That'll help out a lot. And but we'll have, I don't know, probably over 100, maybe 1 to 200 people there in Tallahassee.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
So
awesome.
yeah.
Wow.
So we're excited
Yes.
about that, and like I said, if the judge is supposed to hear the emergency junction the week of November 17th, the same week that we are going to be in doing our rally and tally. So if the universe makes it all come together and she issues that emergency injunction, we're going to have a huge celebration. Huge.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, yeah. That would be a great celebration in
And
itself. You know, the
everybody's invited. So come on up.
come on up. We'll do a big Facebook
There you
event.
go.
You know,
Yeah.
you perhaps on online. You know, and do the happy dance, the
Yes.
victory dance. Let's see that happen. Because I
Exactly.
love when these victories come in. You know, I wish
Yeah.
they come in faster,
Me
but that
too.
doesn't happen overnight. You know, and the longer the victories take, the longer the animals suffer. So your
Mhm.
voices and actions is so very important. Okay, never
Yeah.
think it's not. You know, so
No.
step up to the plate and help out. Don't wait for the next person to step up to the plate. Do it yourself. You know,
Exactly.
it can't get no easier than help making changes in the comfort of your home, your phone, your computer. You know, even texting or whatever, signing petitions or sharing on any social media out there. You know, take that
Yeah.
action. Take that
Yeah.
action is the key. You know,
Yep.
so we got to
Absolutely.
do it. We got to do it. So if
Yeah.
anybody wants to have any questions or comments for Katrina, you're more than welcome. Just alert me on the bottom of the right hand screen, the mic or the phone icon that you want to speak on air, and you're more than welcome to. Go ahead. Hey, and Barbara, Barbara is in the house. Okay, your phone's your phone is bad. Okay, but you made it. You could probably still hear me. Hold on a second. Can you hear me, Barb? Or checking out her phone? Can you hear me? I just let you in. It's probably. But go ahead. Can you hear? Are you? It doesn't say you're on air yet. But does Mama Cat? Where's that Mama Cat at? She's out there roaming around somewhere.
I mean,
Hey, hey, there she is, and tell George a big shout out to her husband George. Is he listening in? He
listening.
always tunes in, huh?
He's listening.
Hi, George. How are you? A big mama bear hug coming your way. Okay, he tunes in with her. But go ahead, Mama Cat. Thank you for all your ongoing support. This is a former guest there, Katrina.
Okay.
Many times.
Yeah.
That's the one that has 90 colony cats
Oh, thank you
that
for all
she's
your work you
taking
do for
out in
them.
Colorado.
Oh.
She is the snow woman, like the snowman. She's a snow woman,
Okay.
and George is a snowman. And tell Skylar I said hi, okay? And
I'll tell
Allie,
him.
yeah,
I'll
they were
tell him.
guests on the show several years ago, Katrina. And Skylar was what, 12 at the time,
I
and
think he was
Allie was 10,
11
her
then.
grandkids, and he was taking calls. It was a good one,
Oh,
and he
nice.
was professional. He helps his grandma out. It's wonderful. But
Oh,
go
wow.
ahead, Mama Cat.
How old is he now?
He is going to be 17 in a couple of months. I can't believe
Oh,
it.
wow. Wow.
Wow. So that was 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I remember he was 12. Wow.
Yeah.
And I know he remembers that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
but give him a shout out too, and Allie, the grandkids, because they got a wonderful grandmother, and Georgia's got a wonderful wife, and she's a great sister, and everything.
I'm
We got
lucky to
close
have
over the
George.
years.
He
Yes,
he
you are.
really supports me in all my animal endeavors. I mean, not too many guys would go out and have a rabbit cage built for me before I even got home with,
Right.
75 rabbits.
That's right. That's nice of him to support you. Because that is rare for men to support women when they do the animal rescue.
Well, I went for a drive and I saw all these rabbits out in this field, and I'm like, oh my God. it was like a month after Easter, and I
Oh,
was just
okay.
fuming because I knew what they were.
Right.
They were,
Mm-hmm.
you know, kids got bunny rabbits for Easter and they got dumped
Mm-hmm.
out in the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there's some here. We'll just dump some more and some more. And oh my goodness, it was horrifying. And you walk out there and they hop right up to you. So you know those aren't wild rabbits.
Right.
Plus they're white, so
Oh,
they're not wild rabbits.
okay.
And the hawks and the eagles, because we have all of the above, are just perched on every tree in the area. And I'm like, oh my god, they're just picking them off like candy.
Oh, wow. Poor baby.
So I just started. I backed my Jeep up in the field and I put the back seat down. I laid down my plastic and I just started throwing the bunny rabbits in the
No
car.
way.
Grab a couple, throw them in. Grab a couple, throw them in. Throw them in.
Oh,
And
that's
I'm
awesome.
thinking to myself, Self, how bad do you think George is going to kick your butt when you get home? And myself said, I don't know. So I called him up and told him what was going on. And I was about an hour from home, maybe not that far, 45 minutes. And when I got home, he already had the base of all the little rabbit houses all built along the back fence and straw and everything all spread out already. I was like, oh, honey. He said, I'm not putting them in there. That's your job.
Oh, what a nice man.
He don't like bunny rabbits too much.
Yeah. Oh, they're adorable. Well, he's very
But
nice.
I was wondering, most of this bear hunt stuff is probably started because people are complaining about, bear being in neighborhoods and stuff like that. And then head on face the bear trash can closing, whatever those straps were. I don't know what those are,
Hmm.
but if it
Yeah.
works, it works. Here, you have to have a bear trash can.
Yes.
If you're in a high bear area, which, hello, this is Colorado, we're in a high bear area, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um and to be honest, in my opinion here, we're moving more and more and more into their neighborhoods.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They're not really coming in, well, they are now, but they're coming into what used to be their backyards.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yep.
here, if it depends on how many calls come in, and they'll tag a deer, um, and they'll mark them, and they get 3 shots, and then they relocate them. Do they do that in Florida at all?
Yes, they will relocate bears. Here, it's unfortunately most of the time when you relocate a bear, it's a death sentence. One, because bears have a home range and they always want to be in their home range. So when you take them out of their home range, they're going to try to get back. Well, in Florida, the highways are so bad, bears get hit and killed trying to get back to their home range. And then the second way that's just not good for bears in Florida. The forest where the bears are relocated are full of poachers, and the poachers are killing off the bears quicker than they can reproduce. So, between poaching them in the forest and them trying to get back to their home range and get hit by cars, there's a very, very, very high death rate for relocation. So, they want to use that as the last resort, but they will relocate bears before they won't kill them for being nuisances anymore. They used to have a 100% kill rate. If someone called and complained about a bear, that bear was killed. And they don't do that anymore. So that's one really, really good thing about FWC's bear management is they educate people, or they tell people, hey, you're going to have to secure your trash, get a bear-proof trash can, and they put the responsibility on people. So they do try to save relocation as the last resort, just because there's so many of them that get killed.
Yeah.
Hmm. So the
Yeah,
poor bears, they get
we
it coming
don't
and going.
They don't kill bear here for like coming into yards. They'll do
Okay,
the
good.
relocation thing first, and then they put a tracker collar on them, to
Okay,
keep track. Um, but if they attack a
right.
human or an animal, another pet, they
Yes.
only get two strikes. They're dead.
Oh, okay. They
And
don't get a. They only get one strike. They get killed
and
immediately.
also here, if they're humanized,
Oh,
like
okay.
you were talking about being able to walk up to a bear and give them a treat, that
Yes.
animal would be shot. That
Yeah. Well,
bear is
that's if they're
humanized.
in the neighborhood. I was actually out in the woods where there's no people, so but yeah, in the neighborhoods, if they get too used to eating and habituated, they will like if they're habituated, used to eating from people, they won't kill them right away. Those are the ones they'll relocate. But they will ticket the person. The person gets in trouble for that. They get ticketed. So, which is a good change that the
Well,
bear
yeah,
doesn't suffer.
here we have so many issues with people. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, look at this, look at that. They eat right out of my hand. And then they
Ah.
post it on Facebook. And
Oh, and
that's the
that's the thing. Don't post it on Facebook.
and don't feed them.
Yeah,
I
which
mean,
don't
really,
seem serious. Yeah. Well, they can't do
people,
it in neighborhoods because even if they have a good relationship with a bear and they feed them in a neighborhood, your neighbor might not like bears. And it's
yeah.
always the neighbor that calls the state wildlife agency to complain.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why
Yeah.
we're saying we want to keep the bears in the woods and out of the neighborhoods. And securing the trash is the best way to do that. And, if you're going to have a special relationship with a bear, feed them whatever, do it in the woods, do it away from people, don't post it on Facebook. And that's just it's just not advisable to post that stuff on Facebook. It's just stupid. But
Yeah.
there are many people around the country that have that I would say, they're friends with bears. They live in the woods. And by the way, did you know in Florida, it's not illegal to feed bears. As long as you live in the woods, you can have a wildlife feeding station. As long as you're not drawing them out across a busy road and you're not creating like a human safety issue, drawing them into we have these, I think you probably have them there too in Colorado, these urban neighborhoods where there's zero lot lines and houses. We call them McMansions, cookie cutter houses. They all look the same. They're all close together. Like you cannot draw a bear into those neighborhoods. But if you live out in the woods, you can absolutely have a wildlife feeder and you can feed bears, and it is not illegal, and you don't get in trouble. So I just found that out this year, by the way.
Can't do that here.
Ah,
It's totally illegal to feed the wildlife.
okay.
And
So let me ask this: is it illegal to bait animals when hunting?
um, I can't really answer that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I
Okay.
know in Wisconsin you can,
Mhm.
um, but I don't really know that.
Okay. 'Cause that's when I found out this year when I was asking the FWC after they came up with these hunting proposals, these changes, and they were going to allow baiting. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all have a state law. We're not allowed to feed bears. How are you going to allow baiting bears to kill them? And we can't feed them to save them, but you can feed them to kill them. That's not making sense. And that's when they said, oh, there's actually a loophole in that state statute, and people are allowed to have wildlife feeding stations. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, if you're in the woods, it's totally legal. And I'm like, huh. And I lived in the woods at the time. I said, I know what I'm going to be doing tonight. I go, I'm giving peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to all my forest friends. And he started laughing. But, if you're out on 1,000 acres, 300 acres, and you have bears as your friends in the woods, I love that. I love that loophole. So,
Yeah, yep.
yeah.
I'm sure if I lived out in the middle of the woods, I would probably have a couple bear friends too.
Oh yeah, bears, rabbits, raccoons, foxes, anything.
Oh,
I'd be Snow White in the middle of all those animals, just dancing and having a
I,
good old time out in the woods.
I live in town and I have just about all that except the bear. I don't have any bear
Oh,
that come over here, so and I'm
okay.
good. I'm good with that, really, because
Yeah. Yeah, they can be intimidating. They are a big animal.
I've
I'm
seen them in the
actually,
wild plenty of times, and they're
yeah.
huge.
Yes. I think they're a little bit bigger out your way. Like
Yeah,
the
they're pretty big.
the hotter the climate, the smaller the bear. They can't have all that fur and everything, in hot climates. So, and the more north you get, the bigger they are.
Do they
So,
totally hibernate there or no?
no, they do a thing called torpor, Torpor, and it's Florida's version of hibernation. They become less active, and we usually don't see bears between January, February. They're usually just chilling out, but yeah, they don't hibernate. But they do become less active. But now here, people are actually modifying bear behavior because we leave trash out all the time, and a bear goes into hibernation or torpor because that's how nature has planned it. In the wintertime, we don't have plants. Plants go dormant. They don't have acorns. They don't have flowers. They don't have fruit. And so nature planned it for bears to go into a little sleep while nature cannot provide food. Well, in Florida, there's always unsecured trash. So bears can't,
Right.
they won't go in. They definitely never go into hibernation here, but they're going into torpor less and less and less because if there's a food source, they won't go into torpor. They're going to eat. So it's quite unfortunate because we're really messing up their systems and just making a negative impact on nature. And, eating garbage is not healthy. We don't want
No,
them eating garbage.
right.
We want
And
them taking a little nap for a couple months and then waking up and eating all the flowers and the fruits and, whatever nature provides. And um, Florida's just not doing a good job of being stewards of the earth and stewards of wildlife. So hopefully if we get this bear hunt stopped, I think that's going to send a message and maybe more people would be like, hey, how can we make sure the bears, keep surviving now that we stop the hunt? How can we help them live in an optimal manner? And that's going to be, a lot to do with securing trash.
right.
So,
And those studies, if those other studies come in saying that there's a 66% decrease in
yeah.
population, that
Mhm.
alone, will help with the fight right there. They're
Yes,
not going to go
exactly.
off of just one. It's too bad that the others haven't
Mhm.
come in yet.
Yeah, they'll come in 2027 and 2029. All of them will be in by 2029, so we'll get the full picture. But while that one is shown a 66% decrease, the Ocala population, has shown it has a very, very low growth rate. It's at 2%. That's it. And with in statistics, you have the chance for it to be, off, like plus or minus. There's actually a chance that there's negative growth, which is, there's a decrease in bears in the Ocala National Forest. So there's two populations that are already showing, bad signs, red flags that they're not doing well. So I think this is a trend, sadly. I think the other populations are going to come in as being lower. And I think this new study by Boone and Crockett showing 95% of poaching goes unreported and undetected. I think these new population studies are going to reflect the poaching, the loss of habitat, and I like you said, it's sad that it's happening, but that's what we can use to get the bears back on the threatened species list and get them the protections that they need and that they deserve.
Right.
Hmm. Very good. So, did you have any other questions about the bears?
No, I think you're
No?
going through pretty much the same thing we're going through here.
Yeah. Y'all are a
Um,
little better. Colorado's a little better about helping people get bear-proof trash cans.
oh
Here we
yeah,
have local governments that are like, we're not spending our money, and the state's like, oh, we're not spending our money. So they battle on who's not going to pay for what we need. And that's where I come in. I've been able to help people because the local government won't provide bear-proof trash cans, or they won't provide them at a discounted rate. So the straps have been a godsend. They've just saved so many bear lives, and we've actually saved governments and people over $1.4 million by not having to buy the expensive bear-proof trash cans. Because I don't know how much they cost in Colorado, but they can get up to $500 for bear-proof trash cans. They're
I,
expensive.
I think mine were 250 each. I had to
Oh,
ask.
okay. Yeah. That's a good price. I know it's isn't a crazy, most people, if you have an extra $250, you don't want to buy a trash can with it. So it's hard to talk people into do that. I completely understand, and that's why I'm so happy to give out free straps, to help people secure their trash, do the right thing, and not go broke in the meantime. Mm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know it's there's got to be better ways to do things. I mean, it's not just Florida. It's all over the place. Like we'll hunt the wolves until they're almost dead.
Oh
Then we'll
gosh.
put them. Then we'll put them on the endangered species list. Then we'll
Hmm.
reintroduce new wolves that don't even belong where we're putting them. But that's okay because we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh no, now they're killing off the few that are left. Oh, maybe we should slaughter those off now. It's
Oh,
just
it's
ridiculous,
horrible.
you know?
Oh yeah. Oh God, they treat the wolves worse than they treat the bears. The wolves are really villainized.
Yeah,
I love.
they hunt them to extinction just about.
Mhm.
And then they
Yeah.
let them, they help them to survive and to start to flourish and to, pack back up. But they're not doing it fast enough for them. So they got these other wolves. I think they were Mexican red wolves.
Oh God,
And they
they're
said that they
almost
were the
extinct.
closest.
Those.
Yeah, they were the closest to the whatever kind of wolves we have here. So they introduced two pairs of them here, and then
Okay.
they were packing up and killing off the wolves that were here.
Hmm.
It was just, it was a mess.
Wow.
That's
Jeez.
like going and getting two mean dogs that have
Right.
never
Yeah.
met, bringing them home and say, "Figure it out." I mean, come
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yeah. Ugh. Poor wolves. But anyway, well, what happened to Debbie? I don't hear Debbie. Is she still on?
Oh, Debbie! I don't hear her
Anyway,
on.
yeah, I'll
Maybe
just give
it's
a
this
reminder
side.
for
Oh,
everyone. If you have any questions or need any bear straps or have any, just shoot me an email anytime at bearwarriorsunited at
I have a
gmail.com.
question.
Yeah.
I mean to jump in, but Debbie, I know what happened to her, but this is Aloha 1978,
Hello.
and yes, and I'm connected with Mama Cat and Mama Bear, and um, I had a question about former hunters. Did they ever approach you and ask how they could help?
Oh, how they could help.
Former
Um,
hunters, yes.
no, no, no.
Just
They're
wondered.
stuck.
Just wondered.
Yeah. The ones who, now there are hunters that oppose the hunt.
Mm.
And, these are deer hunters, turkey hunters, and, hog hunters. They are opposed to the bear hunt for whatever
Oh,
reasons.
that's
Yeah,
interesting. Oh.
we have a lot of hunters. We have over 80% of Floridians polled are against the hunt, and that is Democrats, independents, Republicans, male, female, hunters, non-hunters. So this is widely opposed, and we have lots of hunters. They've spoke on record, so they do help. And matter of fact, I think we're going to have one speak at our rally in Tally. But
Oh.
they're ethical hunters, and they're like, I have hunters in my family. They hunt deer. I used to eat deer when I was younger. They would hunt a deer, once a year, and I don't. I've never, killed an animal, and I never could. If anything happens, I'll
Same
eat tree
here.
bark. Yeah,
Same.
I'll eat tree bark before I would kill an animal to eat an animal. Um, but there are tons of hunters that are opposed to this. And so there's two factions. There's actually three factions of hunters. There's the ethical hunters that
Oh,
just, they hunt the deer, the turkey, hogs. And then we have the bear hunters, the trophy killers. And then we have the hunters that use dogs. And the hunters who use dogs, I'll say that the hunters who they're called still hunters. Have you heard of that term?
no.
STILL.
I didn't
Okay,
realize that hunters has a broad spectrum.
they do, yeah. And the still hunters are the ones that are up in the tree that sit still, waiting for the animals to come by before they shoot them. Well,
Oh,
when the people who use dogs to hunt, the dogs will come through where bears come or where deer come, and they mess up that because a deer and a bear, they all have their nice little schedule. They'll usually go along the same path at the same time of day, and hunters know this, so they sit up in the tree, they wait for them to come by. But when packs of dogs come by, it ruins hunting for the rest of the year for the still hunters. So the still hunters hate the hunters that use dogs. And then, of course, you have the ethical hunters that hate the trophy killers. The trophy killers are the bear killers. And so they are, a lot of them will be vocal about their dislike of each other, but
mhm.
a lot of them will also say, "Oh, I'm not going to complain about them having, using dogs in the bear hunt because I just want to kill a bear." So he keeps his mouth shut to get that bear hunt so he can get his bear, but all the while not liking that bears, they just don't like bears messing up their hunting because they plan all year, like they plant food, or they do the food plots. They also put out baiting stations with corn, and they plan for many months to get one deer. And then if a pack of dogs come through, it ruins their hunting. Now, you may think I'm saying this just as a factual thing.
Mhm.
The whole thought of it turns my stomach. So,
Well,
but
it's
there are,
it's like a different way of a farmer, if that makes sense. Like
yeah.
farmers and crops, but it's hunters.
Yes, yes. Yeah, there's different factions of them, and we do have a lot of ethical hunters that are against this bear hunt, and they are some of our best advocates because it makes more of an impact when you have a male hunter standing up there saying you shouldn't be doing this than, one male hunter is worth 50 of you and I getting up there and saying no bear hunt. So, we love
Wow.
when the ethical hunters stand up and speak out. We appreciate them greatly.
Wow.
And could you give out your Facebook and your website and everything another time before we lose you here?
Yeah, yeah. I have two Facebook pages. My one is my personal. It's Katrina, Katrina Shadix. S is in Sam, H is in Happy, A is in Apple, D is in David, IX. And then the Bear Warriors page is this Bear Warriors United. So those are the two pages. And then, of course, the Bear Warriors United at gmail.com is my email address. And email me anytime if y'all need straps, if you know someone who has a hurt bear, if you want to be involved in any of our like our rallies or protests or meetings. We go to FWC meetings 5 times a year. Anything, just email for anything, and I'd be happy to get y'all in with us, and or send straps, whatever y'all need to help everyone peacefully coexist with our bears. I'm happy to do.
That's great. I don't know what happened with Debbie. She must be
Yeah,
having some kind of trouble with her phone or something.
right,
Uh-oh.
right.
Um, hey, Pat, if you're out there, can you call Debbie and see what's going on? I tried calling her and
No,
texting
I'm
her,
right
but
here. I'm right
Oh,
here. I
there
was
you
listening.
are.
I'm the visible mama bear. I was just, all you hear is my voice going through the airways and on social media.
Okay, well, I'll shut up now.
I was just listening to all this, great information and everything. It's so informative and educational that something that we didn't even know, right? I mean, think about it.
Yeah,
I
Thank
mean,
you
we
for
have
saying,
to
Debbie,
we have
about
to
the
open our
download.
eyes and know what's going on behind the scenes, behind closed doors, behind
Yep.
what all this is all about, while these animals are getting mistreated, cruelty front lines. It's terrible. It's so heartbreaking. It's like this shouldn't even be allowed. Where are the animal rights at? What do they do? Get thrown out the window? Get kicked to the curb?
yeah,
What is going on? What is going on?
yeah.
Because they deserve all their animal rights, not to be violated.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we have to, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna be closing down here, ladies, and
Okay.
another great show, and can't wait to have you back on, Katrina. This
Yeah.
is wonderful, and once there's a temporary promo out right now, and once I get
Okay.
it, download, edited, and then it'll go published. Everyone on iPads and tablets and laptops, phones, you'll get alerted on your the notification saying the episode has been published, and you can go back on your app, and all the shows are located on there, and also on the web, and that's voices carry for animals dot or voices carry for animals dot podbean.com, and you can follow me on this the app and the web, both of them. So, well, and you can always share 24/7 because there's going to be a lot of people that wish they couldn't listen in, and they can always go back and download it and listen to it after it's published. So and that does happen. And a big thank you to all of you for all your support out there. Mama Cat, all your continuing support, and aloha, big shout out to you. And George, I hope you come on there sometime, giving you a big shout out. We want to see you're in the house. And my mother, Patricia, Pat Dahmer, is listening in. Love her support. Beautiful woman, inside and out. Her nickname's Moose, but she don't look like one. But we another name for mom. But thank you, Mom, and love you very much. Love you to death, And next week, everyone, and thank you, Katrina.
Yeah.
This is a great show. I loved it,
Great.
and I'll put all those links in there,
Sounds good.
and help you out. Continue support because the Mama Bear's here for you. Okay,
Wonderful.
she's
Thank
here
you
for you
so much.
all the way, 100%, and
Yay.
counting. Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
So,
Awesome.
but yeah, next week, these shows are every Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Mountain, and 4 o'clock Pacific. Everyone, you can listen in worldwide. Okay, and you can call, and I have this app set up where you can, speak to the guests right from the app. Okay, and you can take these shows, share them from here, follow the host, and we got to keep going. We are the voices, and the black bears need our voices. So on November the 17th, it's on a Monday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Please meet at the Tallahassee state, the state capitol, and it'll be a peaceful protest. There are buses that's going to be taking people there, and hope it's a huge turnout out there, everyone, and to show the bears that we really do care. They can't thank us, but when their lives turn for the better, guess what? We did our job, and we put our every effort we could to help make better lives and futures.
Yes.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
yes, and next Thursday, going to welcome back Carol Walker. She's a photographer, author, a podcast host, and a wild horse advocate. So we'll be speaking for them next week, probably
Yeah.
most likely on the SAFE Act, okay? Trying to get that passed because it's been going on for many years,
Yes,
everyone.
it
HR
has. Mhm.
1661. Call your state representative, and this is nationwide. Ask them to support this bill, co-sponsor, okay? And Senate Bill 775. There's 184 co-sponsors right now on the SAFE Act.
Wow, that's
Um,
amazing.
yes, I know. And so there's more to go before it gets a House vote. But on the Senate side, there's only four co-sponsors. So we have
Oh,
to make
okay.
some calls on that one, okay? And here's a nationwide number. Please put this down: 202-224-3121. And during business hours, you just give them your zip code, and they'll hook you up with your state representative or your senator, and just ask them, or you can even email them to co-sponsor HR 1661. Okay, and on the Senate side, Senate Bill 775. And you can always keep alert on these bills on congress.gov. Sign up for an account, a free account, and then you can get alerts on them from each bill that you are looking for and info. And it'll alert you in your email, hey, there's two more co-sponsors that come aboard, and that's good news, or three, or whatever. But we all have to do our time, and that's thanks, Mama Cat. 202-224-3121, and that's federal. That's nationwide. Okay, these are federal bill that needs to be passed. Has been fighting for so long. So every voice out there counts, and he even called Governor Ron DeSantis and tell him to oppose that bear hunt. And this
Be
is called
polite.
for all, yeah, be polite and professional,
Yes.
and tell them the reason why. And this is asking for all your help worldwide, okay, not just nationwide, but the more voices and we express and why. Maybe he could change his mind. You never know. More pressure and more public outcry, the better. So, but I hope you join us next week with Carol Walker.
Very good.
She was on my shows before when I was on Blog Talk Radio, so this is new to her on Podbean. But I want to welcome her back for the wild horses, okay? And there's a Wild Horse and Burro Protection Act that's out there too, to stop helicopter roundups on them. I don't know if you've seen this videos, but it is sickening. Animal cruelty frontline, and taxpayers are paying for it, okay? So I don't have the bill in front of me, but I got to get that out there also, because that is another important bill. They tend, last time I looked, they only had 14 co-sponsors, so, and zero Senate sponsors. So we have to do that.
Mhm.
And thank you all for listening to tuning in this evening from the web, Podbean podcast web, and also on the app, and all the new listeners coming in the chat room, and all the supporters on this show. It's high energy, which is a plus. We want to keep together and work together. That teamwork means so much. But and Katrina's out there. Check the website and page, because she's staying out for some animals now, and I mean it's awesome. So I'll be bringing her. I could have you on manatees. I mean, there's just a list,
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
no limit of how many times you come on. The more times, the better. So, but go
Right.
ahead, Mama. Go ahead, Mama Cat. You ready to rock and roll? Go right ahead.
Paw in hand, united we stand against all animal neglect and cruelty across the land. Good night, everybody. God bless.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone. Thank you so much, Katrina. May God
Yeah.
bless you all. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great night.
Good
You too.
night.
A peaceful night. Let's see a victory. All right? Let's see a victory. Stop the Florida Bear Hunt 2025. And next year, let's stop it ongoing. No more.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. Thank you.
With our voices, the animals will be heard. With our actions, the animals will seek justice. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you for tuning in. Mama Bear Hugs.